It's just different.
And welcome back to B.A.R Fitness TV and Podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne, and this podcast is geared towards my fitness journey. And on that fitness journey, it is all about E2M. And when it's all about E2M, I love to interview folks on E2M. And today is a special day because we have on one of the staff members at E2M, Miss Sindy. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are y'all? And
I know,
you?
right?
I mean,
I'm good. I'm good. I really appreciate you coming on. You know, what I love about my show and the interviews is we actually get to hear, you know, because a lot of times you guys are instructing and you're trying to give to us, and we don't really get to hear your story. And so super excited about you being able to share with us, and let's start there. So let's talk about your fitness journey before E2M. I always like to give like the background, and then once you found E2M and all of that stuff. So let's talk about life before E2M.
okay, so how long do you want me to talk? Because I can go on and on and on.
It's my show. You can take your time. We're good to go. I'm gonna say like they tell the preacher, take your time.
Oh Jesus. Okay. Well, that's cool. I've always been very active in athletics since I was in middle school. My mom's always had me doing something. I ran track in college. I wasn't nearly as good as my daughter. Like she surpassed me when she was in like 7th grade, but I did.
You gave it a good genes.
I did. I tried. My husband gave her, I think, the best, but I ran track in college. It was a D3 school, so it wasn't like super, prestigious or anything. But I've just always loved working out. It's just like always been very relaxing for me and very therapeutic. I'll do that before like anything else. And so even after I had my first daughter, I worked out a lot I'm really a credit to my mom. Because she started it. Like she would get up in the morning. There was a point before I started high school where I gained a lot of weight, and I told my mom I wanted to lose it, and she was like, okay. So she would get up at 4:30 with me every morning and do step aerobics with me.
Wow.
So yeah, so I've been that step that I used with Alicia, I've been using that since I was 14. So
wow.
That's the same one.
Got some miles on it.
Right. It's awesome. So that's my mom is what did it. And so me and Carlos got married or whatnot. I had the kids, and I was always working out and always looking for some way to make sure I kept my weight down. As I got maybe my late 30s, and after my twins were born, I was kind of on a yo-yo. And so my husband was always seeing me struggle, always seeing me trying, being unhappy. And he went to college with Jeff and played football and ran track with him. So Carlos had been watching him for maybe about a year or so after he started E2M, and just watching. He didn't tell me nothing about it. But then, so then one day, and I guess that was 2019, maybe 2018-ish, he was like, my friend has this group. I think you would benefit. I think you would do good at it. So just give it a try for 8 weeks. And so I was like, okay. So I tried it, and I had such great success in it. And my husband was my biggest cheerleader. He was always like, you supposed to be eating that? Or isn't your portion size a little bit too big?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, right. So he was my helper, and I just had a ball with it. And it took a lot of work and a lot of time, to get up and do workouts twice a day sometimes. But I wouldn't even eat sometimes because I would just want to go work out. But that's how therapeutic it was for me.
Sure.
And it's just been awesome ever since. I got
awesome.
I was certified in Zumba in 2011, maybe. And I stopped when my twins were little because I was just kind of burnt out. But I got certified again, and I've always loved dancing, and it's just been a really cool journey. So
Nice.
that's about it for me.
Okay. I like it.
How
I
I got
like it.
started.
All right. So you came into the group first time. You had the background of working out and all that good stuff. Talk about, I always like to hear like that first week, that first initial shock of E2M. Like how was that, and how did you deal with that? I see your eyes. Talk about it.
Bruh, I tell you, I was like, there were some days where there was most days where I came home from work and like I would smell the food I'd already eaten, but I was still cooking for my
Yep.
kids, so I would cook them like baked spaghetti or stuffing or something. And I would just be like so cranky. I would just go in my room, lock the door, and be under the covers. I don't want to talk to none of y'all. I'm mad. I smell the food. Leave me alone. I'm going to sleep. And so
I love it.
that was really like my first 2 weeks of E2M, honestly. But then I finally, like, once I realized, like, you could do this, suck it up, and you can do this. So it was pretty cool after that.
That's good. That's good. Like I said, I like to hear that, because a lot of times people see, where we are in the journey, yourself, your husband, and you think that, you had it easy the whole time, but everybody has certain parts of it where you struggle and you had challenges, because if it wasn't in place, you wouldn't be better or grow. So that's really cool. So talk about the call from Morpheus when he said, hey, we're going to add you to the team. Like I just imagine, just this random phone come in your mailbox, and you open the package and he starts ringing, and Jeff is on the other end. Like talk about that and how that got started.
Well, like I mentioned, I had been certified back in 2012. I was really successful. I was having a great time at that time. I think my kids were like, I don't know, they were in elementary school. So they were like everywhere with me, every Zumba class, like they was there. And, I got to the point where I was just like, I'm tired. It was too much work. So I stopped, and I didn't plan on ever doing Zumba again. Like I didn't even want to go to a class.
Wow.
But I still like to dance. And so for my cardio, because Jeff would say, you could do anything you wanted for cardio, I would go find these YouTube videos and I would dance for my cardio. And so Carlos would just kind of sneak in, and he'd be recording, and I didn't know it. But I'd be just going in, because I was dancing like I tell people, like dance like nobody's watching, like I'm going off. And so he would post those videos, and I think what happened, I think I ended up getting certified. My friend was like, you should go ahead and get certified again. So I made a decision to do it. And then after I got certified, that's when I told Jeff. And he was like, I was just waiting, because I knew your background. He was like, I was just being quiet. I knew you was going to do it eventually. So that's how that happened. I was like, hey, I'm certified. So if you want to, and he was like, yes. So that was it was scary, but it was such a big honor.
Yeah, for sure.
People's lives are being changed. And I was like, oh God, sure. So that was how I got started.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, you got a lot of fans on the Facebook Live. They're all speaking and saying, "Hey, I mean, you low key, you got your own little Zumba tribe. I be watching. I be seeing them. They, the Sindy faithfuls. So talk about that experience. Getting into class and having fun. And I'll be honest, I tried your class one time and I was like, you know what, this is just a little bit too fast for me, man. Like you were going like, I could kind of Snoop Dogg, two-step with Alicia, but with yours it was like boom, chicka-doom, chicka-doom, chicka-doom. I was like, okay, I can't. I love y'all, but yeah.
Oh.
So talk about that, man, and give me some encouragement. I might jump back on. Go ahead.
So look, I know most of y'all didn't. I mean, I think everybody like secretly dances, by themselves. That's just what I encourage people like doing. I would be in the laundry room, like doing laundry, close the door and put on Beyonce and just go for it by myself. Like that's how much I love dancing. And it's just like, it's like when I dance, I don't try to be like, I I don't try to be like, oh, I'm going to get this move perfectly right. But it's
Gotcha.
just like, I just love it. So I'm just like, and I've been doing it since I was young. My
Right.
parents, like we had parties and dance every weekend.
Mm.
So when it was time to start the classes, I was very nervous because I'm a little, I can be a little shy like I used to be. I've come out of my shell a lot, but I'm still, you know, I'm a little, it was very nervous wracking for me and very scary. But
Sure.
Carlos encouraged me. He was there. My mom was encouraging me. Jeff was encouraging me. Alicia, like I'll be texting her like, oh, I don't know what to do. And she was very encouraging. And so after that first class, it was like, this is cool because I'm like dancing with friends. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
teaching a class or trying to put on a performance. Let's just sweat and see what
Right.
happens. And that's how that's gone so far. And
That's awesome.
it's just so fun.
Yeah, yeah. It's awesome. Like I said, you can see it on the page, and the faithfuls that be jamming with you and having a really good time. And that's so awesome for me to just witness and see, and just the impact, because you talked about how this is changing lives and things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
so before, I always have a final question I ask everybody, but before I get to that, do you have any, like, somebody like might have messaged you, or you saw somewhere where, they took your class and it really, like, wow, like I'm really impacting people? Do you have any stories like that you want to share?
I do. And I mean,
So many,
like,
huh?
yeah, I mean, I live in Somerville, right? So in
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina. So it's a heavy E2M community here.
Yep.
And so I'll run into a lot of people, especially at my kids' track meets. Like it's crazy. Like I see a
Mm-hmm.
lot of E2M people and come up and talk, or the grocery store or something, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, I love your class." It's just like everywhere. Almost I go somewhere in Somerville, somebody recognizes, familiar with my class, and it's so humbling. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, what do you mean? Because I'm just trying to have a good time. I mean, I'm just trying to have a
Right.
good time with you. I want you to be happy. I want you to have fun. And it's very humbling. Like
Yes.
I'll tell Carlos sometimes, like, oh my God, look what somebody said. And it's hard for me to fathom, honestly. Like I can't, what do you mean? I'm just
Yep.
Sindy. Like, why are you telling me like what do you mean that's important like that to you? But it just it touches my heart, and it makes me want to do my best for every class
For sure.
that we
For sure.
have. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, 100%. I totally get that, and I can see that for sure. All right, Miss Sindy. So what I love to do before we close out is always give you an opportunity, because this is actually the week of signups. So there may be somebody watching or listening that's thinking
Yeah,
about E2M. What would be your words of encouragement? What would you say to someone that's looking at this video and thinking about joining?
just do it. I mean, just do it. You ain't got nothing to lose, right? But your health and your
Mm,
life. But I'm just saying, like, just do it. If you don't, just do it. Just step out, do it afraid, and nothing good ever comes if you don't take risks. Jeff said that to me.
mm-hmm.
I was texting about something, and he was like, "You got to take risks, or else you can't be successful." My husband shows me that, my pastor. So just do it. There's such a huge support. I mean, community of support. Like even if you don't get the support at home, everybody doesn't have a picture, fabulous Carlos Frank as a husband. But but I
Right.
mean, just do it. If not, reach out. We'll hook you, we'll take care of you. We'll FaceTime you while we doing the circuits if we need to. I mean, that's
Right.
just the kind of support system. So just do it. You ain't got nothing. Just do it. See what happens.
That's right. I love it.
That's
I
that's
love it. I
that's the
love it.
best advice.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, listen, thank you again for coming on the show. Shout out to my big bro, Carlos, aka Flash. That's my nickname for him. That's my guy. Big shout out to him. I've been trying to get him on. You were much easier to work with, just so you know.
Really?
I wanted to put that on the air. I wanted to put that out there. So much
Oh,
easier to work with, to get on, and I do appreciate it. Also to the Bar Fit fam, thank you guys for listening to the Bar Fitness Podcast /TV. And always remember 1 Timothy 4:8, the bodily fitness, it is good. Paul said it's good. But we also need to take care of our spiritual body.